coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First carry for Derrick Henry, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. They'll run for it with Henry, and this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Now a timeout being called as there's an injured Titan down on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. And now here comes Kansas City. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. Detroit. All right, now, look at 56. What's in that ball?
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Detroit.
They go play fake. Mahomes. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. You add in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Mariota now on 2nd down. Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And they're able to get this one down to the 25. A gain of 32 that time.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to them right away because they have the matchup advantage.
the gun. He's to the 10, and he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. On the return, it's Josh Ferguson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their third possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense, just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down. He couldn't get the edge there. It wasn't sealed, so maybe not all on the guy running the football all the time on those tosses and the pitches that go to the outside. No,
not at all. I would agree with that totally, because sometimes the defensive guys, they win the edge battle. And when they do that, there's no place for the running back to go, and especially for offensive linemen trying to get out ahead. With their footwork and speed, it was negligible on that play. No gain at all for the offense.
Now Mariota toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll run with Lewis. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Again, it's Lewis. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
But now they're in a spot that every team tells us when we have our production meetings they don't want to be in, 3rd and long. And that's because those back-to-back running plays just didn't accomplish a whole lot.
And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. The Broncos have taken the early lead. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Mariota hands to Henry. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Time running out here on the play clock. And the play clock about to expire. Andy Reid notices it and takes a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now they'll run it on the toss across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
All right, here we go. Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
First and 10. Here's Mahomes. Eluding the pressure right. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now a handoff as they run left side. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And the Titans going to signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Now let's go.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And his kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick that time, and he's able to redeem himself from the previous miss.
And fortunately for him, he got the chance to do that not long after missing the first time. Sometimes a whole game goes by, and you don't get that chance at all. So you keep it with you till the next time you take the field.
The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Mariota on 1st down. Caught right side. It's Jeffrey. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Green. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. This is Lewis. And he's across the 43 extra yards to the 43. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On the NFL scoreboard, 2nd quarter up in Minneapolis. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this. They try again with Lewis. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And Jeffrey's got it. And he brings this up to the 46, good enough for the 1st. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. A 1st down throw for Mariota. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by David Amerson. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
And his kick is right through. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And the Titans getting set to go. Shift together here from the D-line. Back to it after the pick 6. Mariota. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Flushed out right. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The Titans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Mariota. He dumps it off for Henry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Lewis. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
2nd down, Mariota. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Titans now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. This is Lewis, and he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down. with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Titans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 23. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
That's caught at the 25. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because
he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. To throw, Mariota. Forced out to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback because that was awfully close.
The Titans on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. So the D-line's going to spread out. Play action now. Mariota. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll try and pick it up with Lewis. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 4 yards on the pickup, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense. Well, let's give plenty of credit to the defense there. They stuffed them on 2nd and short. But if you're the offense, why would you change what you're doing? You've got a whole nother down to pick it up, and maybe even a 4th if you so choose.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Now they try the right side here. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he'll hit Jeffrey complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
But he was stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Throw it, Mariota. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
From Soldier Field, meanwhile, in Chicago, a 3rd quarter score. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. On play action, Mariota, flush to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
And Rosas pulled it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, it's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
I think that chicken parm from last night's gone to your head. The Chiefs on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing now is Mahomes. He is going to find Hill here. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Check.
They fake the give. Now Mahomes. He's going to let this one go deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
Now it's Ajayi. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. He'll field this at the 5. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team, because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there, we've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got room. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
And making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. Second down following the run. Throwing is Mariota. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he is out of bounds just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And to give this time to the tailback. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. The tight end in motion right. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Mariota now on 2nd down. His throw caught right around the 6. And it caught it up, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Mahomes going to throw it here. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Watch it now, No. Check. Patriot.
Working from the gun. Mahomes. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Here's Drew Kaiser now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And he's not going to get the first. I don't even think he made it back to the line of scrimmage. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool this defense. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And this is going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Rashard Matthews, the intended target. 3rd down here.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle 3rd of the field where he threw that one. The Titans on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. And the kick by Rosas is good. On the NFL scoreboard, fourth quarter now at Soldier Field. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Chiefs now. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play.
The Rams are now on the clock. Adam, what can you tell us about that last pick?
His final season in school came to an end early when he was dismissed from the team after missing several practices. I wasn't able to find out why he couldn't attend the practices, but I do know that after his 3rd absence, the coach finally decided to bench him. He was on his way to having a decent year, but without him participating in practice, the coaches thought he would be a liability in the game plan going forward. After apologizing to his former teammates, I can see why this team is taking a chance on him. He seems recommitted, but we'll see if that's true come training camp.
The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Brooklyn Beats are now on the clock. The Beats pick is in. Adam, give us more on Gore.
If you go back and watch his pro day workout, you'll see this guy was a beast. One NFL defensive line coach put him through a brutal series of drills, and he came out of each one hungry for more. Matt Miller watched him on the sidelines and noticed he never took a knee, never got water, was always quick back to the line for another round. I spoke with the coach who ran his drills, and even he came away very impressed. It was his goal to find the kid's breaking point, but it never made an appearance. He's got a motor I can see causing fits for any offensive line. With this pick, their defensive line just got a much-needed injection of energy and attitude.
The Colts are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. Pick's been made. Let's go to Adam Schefter to hear more about the player.
He was considered one of the top tight end prospects along with another big guy this year, but a lot of scouts were unable to answer who the best of the two was. Following the All-Star game, I asked Matt Miller, and he was quick to call the debate over. Matt watched both of them closely all week, and he was impressed with this kid's ability to attack the ball. They both received roughly the same amount of targets, but his knack for going after the ball helped him grab a few more than the other prospect. Receiving tight ends are becoming more common in the league, and he showed this team that he could be relied upon in the passing game more than his classmate.
The Titans are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Toronto Mounties are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. All right, let's go to Adam Schefter, who's got more on this pick.
This is a player that draft experts really didn't start talking about until the tail end of the season. The biggest topic of discussion was where the sudden change in production came from. I talked to his college position coach, and he told me that a nagging injury slowed him down early in the season. You can clearly see he favored one side over the other when he was put out on the field or even walking on the sidelines. After he was benched for a few weeks, he came back and played at a much higher level. Even so, some teams were still cautious and did a thorough medical examination at the combine to be sure he was completely recovered. The results must have been positive for the team to have just drafted him now. As long as he can stay healthy, I really like what he brings to this team.
Adam, what can you tell us about the Bengals' newest player?
He's a gifted tight end who had scouts buzzing to begin the season. Just as the hype surrounding him was hitting an all-time high, he was plagued by a series of critical fumbles, leaving draft experts wondering what went wrong. Sources tell me that after the season ended, he began working with a sports psychologist to help curb the fumbling issues. He performed well at both his pro day and at the combine, but has yet to demonstrate his grip on the ball after contact. Clearly, this is a team that feels the fumbling issues are behind him and are confident his upside far outweighs any of the potential risk.
The Raiders are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Brooklyn Beats are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Colts are now on the clock. The Vikings are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Dolphins are now on the clock. The Titans are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Patriots are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. They just picked up Stevens. What's the latest on him, Adam?
He was a great runner in college, but a combination of his size and lack of elite speed had some scouts not entirely sold on him being a great pro prospect. He beat the odds and is getting drafted here, and I think if you go back to his pro day, you'll see why. Matt Miller wasn't sold on him until then, and he told me it was the way he performed in each drill that changed his mind. The kid competes and competes and competes some more. His effort levels at his pro day were through the roof, and the numbers he posted tell the story. The team wasn't willing to pass him up, and I think it made a wise decision to go with its gut and take him.
The Browns are now on the clock. All right, now that the pick's in, let's go to Adam. Adam, what can you tell us about this guy?
Matt Miller was glued to the ongoing soap opera that was his story this season. A feared pass rusher, he couldn't quite seem to play with the same intensity on a week-to-week basis. Some weeks he looked absolutely unstoppable, terrorizing opposing quarterbacks. Others he looked out of place, struggling to make any sort of impact, even taking himself out of the game multiple times in fits of frustration. Some GMs I spoke to felt that his lack of consistency was due to a lack of maturity, something that can be easily addressed by the right coaching staff. This pick could have tremendous upside or could end up as a what could have been story. It should be interesting to see how this saga plays out.
The Toronto Mounties are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The Panthers are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Brooklyn Beats are now on the clock. Let's go to Adam Schefter now, who's got more to say about the Lions' latest pick.
One of this draft's toughest players, here's a guy who played the majority of his final collegiate season with a broken foot. Long suffering with plantar fasciitis in the affected foot, doctors discovered several hairline fractures across the first, second, and third metatarsals during a routine therapy session. Translation? His foot was essentially shattered. Recovery took months, and he used the time wisely, studying film of just about every NFL team and preparing for interviews. No surprise that he blew scouts and even a few GMs away with his knowledge of NFL offensive schemes. This is an intelligent, hard-nosed defensive back who's going to make his fair share of big plays before his professional career is over.
The Eagles are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Texans are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Chiefs are now on the clock. The Packers are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Portland Snowhawks are now on the clock. The Eagles are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The Broncos are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Rams are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Toronto Mounties are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Raiders are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Cowboys are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Brooklyn Beats are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. The Falcons are now on the clock. The 49ers are now on the clock. The Buccaneers are now on the clock. The Browns are now on the clock. The Giants are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Bengals are now on the clock. The Toronto Mounties are now on the clock. The Jaguars are now on the clock. The Bears are now on the clock. The Seahawks are now on the clock. The Bills are now on the clock. The Steelers are now on the clock. The Redskins are now on the clock. The Portland Snowhawks are now on the clock. The Chargers are now on the clock. The Brooklyn Beats are now on the clock. The Lions are now on the clock. The Cardinals are now on the clock. Our very own Adam Schefter has more to say about this pick.
It seems every year
All